Now the other thing you got to do, I'm going to click go live right now, so you don't have to worry about that. There it is. So I'm going to minimize. Okay.
First up, we have the women's mile. That's 66 laps for Miss Sage Knight, representing the Tritons from Ottumwa, Iowa.
This is Triton Nation. We're here at Fort Dodge Senior High at the Dodger Pool. This is Ryan commentating for today's meet. We've got Sage Knight in lane 4 for the mile. Starting out for a 66 lap event. Swimming the mile is a very tough job to do. The mentality has to be strong to keep pacing. Starting out too strong can have reparations at the end. Completing her first lap, she's looking smooth and strong.
Sage's first time doing this race.
Not only is it her first time swimming, she's got her swimming it alone. For someone to be able to swim this event for the first time, they must have a strong mentality and a complete, clear focus and the support of her team cheering her on.
It's okay to cheer for her.
For those who don't know, a lap is considered a down and back. Going down is a 25 yards, down and back is 50. 100 is a down, back, down, back.
Let's go,
The mile is 1650 yards. So it's 66 times to go down. Each time she touches the wall, it counts as 1 towards the 66. For her first time swimming it, she's already done 150 with a time of 1:40.56. This is good pacing for a strong start. If she keeps it up at this pace, she should set a good time for her to pace in the future. A key factor of swimming the mile is a strong push off the wall, because it sets the pace for the next 25. If you end up short, you have to make up for it by putting more effort into speeding up. A good tactic is to make sure you have plenty of air when you're going. Air is a key factor because breathing can knock off the balance and tilt you one way or the other. It also disrupts the flow of water. However, a good swimmer knows how to compensate their body so that way the balance is kept and can stay strong through the flow. A good distance to make it for swimmers is close to the flags. If they can make it to the flags off a dive and push off and continue through the stroke, they can make it easily through the 25.
I apologize if the programs have the wrong day first.
However, the mile can be difficult because of how long it goes on for, which is important to keep legs kicking and arms moving. With a strong mentality and will to finish, you can clear the mile easily. Plenty of training helps too. Sage is a distance swimmer, so this is something she trains for. However, it's her first time competing in the mile. Sage's technique is looking strong for as soon as we hit the 400 for a time of 4 minutes, 37 seconds is quite strong for a good start. Sage swims the 500 almost at every meet, so for her to be swimming the mile is a huge step up. A 500 itself can be a demanding challenge for those who swim it. Since the distance, every time you swim distance, it's always a mentality battle. As we make it for our first 500, we'll find out what our first checkpoint will be of this mile. For her first 500, she is at 5 minutes, 46 seconds, .54. Sage's time for the 500 is usually around that time, so her pacing's on point. Now she just needs to make another two 500s and then 150 to finish it. For any swimmer that swims the distance, it's important to make it to the midpoint, because that's when the mentality is strong to finish. Swimming strong still. Sage is swimming strong, as well as keeping up the good pace. She could kick a little bit more, but she's still swimming strong. For the card, when we make it to the last lap, it'll go 65 red. A coach can signal to the swimmer how to swim through the cards as well, with a variation of altering the cards. Simply up and down, side to side, and upside down. Upside down means sprint, side to side, kick faster, up and down, pick up the pace. However, thanks to Sage's experience in the 500, she's able to keep a strong pace regardless. When being a distance swimmer, it's important to have experience under your belt, and thanks to Sage's times in the 500, she is well suited for the mile. For her first time swimming, she's going strong and steady. Now making it to the 750-yard mark, she is at a time of 8 minutes, 47 seconds, .11. For a close to midway marker, this is a strong way to go. Still being able to make it close to the flags is important at this point, so that way her mentality stays strong as she flows through the water instead of fighting it. However, the push-off can also be the most demanding part of the mile due to a lack of air for a certain amount of time. Lung capacity, endurance, and mentality are the key points to swim in the mile. Sage's swimming style for this has been so far swimming and breathing on one side. In most cases, you would breathe every 3 strokes. However, she's breathing on one side. This is a strategy used for distance swimmers in order to keep a strong pace. Once a swimmer gets tired of distance, they usually resort to breathing every stroke, as she does periodically, as we're seeing. However, due to her experience, she's able to keep up the pace regardless of breathing every stroke. We're at the 11-minute mark for the meet. Sage is still swimming strong. We're making it to the 1,000 marker now. When she touches the wall, it'll be her second 500. Being almost 2/3 of the way done is very enduring for a swimmer swimming in the mile. Her 1,000 time is 11 minutes, 45 seconds, .46. Very good time for her to be at due to her first time of 5:46 in the first 500. With only one more 500 plus 150 to go, Sage is swimming strong, and she's got it in her mind to win. There's a lot of pressure on someone swimming something for the first time, as well as being the only one swimming it. However, this seemed to be unfazing her as she continues to swim strong and smoothly through the water. The cheers of teammates in the crowd continue on as she swims through the mile. She executes each push off the wall quite nicely and continues swimming. When she touches the wall, this will be the last
5,000 in 11:45, which is currently 15th in the whole country.
Sage has just made a record due to her times in the first 500 cut, becoming 15th in the country for her swim for a 500 time. 500 left in the swim, now 475 left. Sage pushes on, seemingly stronger and smoother through the water. This is an impressive display for Sage, with it being her first time swimming. A 500 can be a very challenging swim in itself, and to do that 3 times over plus some is quite an achievement for anyone who swims. Coach Plain cheering Sage on as enthusiastically as he cheers everyone else on. Coach Joe cheers loud enough to be heard underwater, which is a very good thing for people swimming, to know that they're still being cheered on regardless. Sage is looking solid in her swim as she continues on in order to make it for the 1,350 yards mark with a time of 15 minutes, 58 seconds, point 17. Sage's swimming is looking sped up as well as stronger. She's attacking the walls fiercely now as she continues on. As it's the final stretch, you can see her speed up and strongly move her arms. To do so in the final stretch, it's quite a challenge, but for someone swimming in long distance, it's quite easy. The final push in order to finish out this swim. 200 left. The last 200 is very important for when you are making the final stretch, because that's when you pour it all in to go smooth, strong, and push harder for each little stroke you make. Marker left of yards, the crowd cheers harder and louder for Sage as she's carrying through. This will be the last lap of the mile, her last 50. This is where she'll pour it all in order to get the best time possible. You can see her put forth more effort as she moves her arms in a strong, smooth pattern through the water. Her final 25, push off strong, picks up her arm speed, kicks harder, smoothly working through, finishing strong, almost through the wall, past the flags, touching. First in her heat and event with a time of 19 minutes, 31 seconds, .92.
That time for Sage is Iowa Central's 9th fastest time ever.
With making it the 9th fastest time in Iowa Central. For her first time swimming, that is an impressive
And the 13th
mark,
time in the country this year.
as well as the 15th time in the country. Next, we will have Event 3, the women's 200-yard IM. We'll be right back at Triton's YouTube channel for the start of the next event.
Sorry for the delay. Next up, we have the women's 200 individual medley in lane 4 from Sioux City, Iowa. We have Lily Wright. And in lane 5 from sunny Mexico, Andrea Gallardo Perez. Yours, Mr. Stover.
And we're back with event 3 of the women's 200-yard IM. In lane 4, we have Lily Wright from Iowa Central, and in lane 5, Andrea Gallardo Perez, also Iowa Central. Lily has a good start off and dive off of the block, as well as a good flip turn, but Andrea is right behind her, sticking to it strong. Andrea is catching up through the pool, but Lily is keeping ahead thanks to her push-offs. From the butterfly, they go straight into backstroke as they both smoothly work through the water. Lily is pushing ahead ever so slightly, but Andrea is not letting her go. Both having a strong push off the wall, they can both clear the flags easily. With a little bit more of a lead, Lily continues swimming, but Andrea will not let her go. Lily is personalized in the breaststroke, so she will make a big gap here. Andrea continues pushing through with the breaststroke. Lily making an excellent exit out of the water with a strong stroke, strong form, continues. Start off on the finishing of the freestyle. Andrea right behind her still, just entering the flags. For the finish. Lily finishing with her last 25. Just barely making the flags, but still strong. With a strong lead, it looks like she'll be the heat winner. Andrea with a strong turn as well. Kicks hard and flows through the water to the finish. Lily
That
first.
is Lily's best time of this season.
Lily in first with a time of 2:14.97. And Andrea with a time of 2 minutes, 23 seconds, 0.6. Next, we have event 4 of the men's 200-yard IM. In lane 3, we have Philip Canino from
All right. Next up, we have the men's 200.
We have Philip Canino from Iowa Lakes in lane 3, Eric P. Gareth in lane 4, also from Iowa Lakes, and Wyatt Cook in lane 5 from Iowa Central.
Yeah, clear the pool, ladies. This is heat 1 of 2. In lane 3 from Iowa Lakes, Philip Canono. In lane 4 from Iowa Lakes, Eric Graff. And in lane 5, breaststroke extraordinaire, Wyatt Cook.
As they line up on the blocks and stand up, they get ready for the
Number
jump.
1 and 207 in intermission. Takes the mark.
With a slight delay from lane 4, he jumps a little late. However, he still manages to keep up with Wyatt and Philip. With extremely strong off the walls, Eric still manages to keep up with Wyatt. However, Wyatt is still managing to pull ahead a little bit. With another strong push off the wall, he goes straight into back. Eric still not letting him fall behind. He pushes on harder. Philip still in third, however, still not falling behind in the group majorly. Wyatt's form is looking impeccable as he pushes a little bit farther ahead of Eric than before. The push-offs are extremely important in swimming. Wyatt hits the wall a little bit, but it doesn't let it phase him as he pushes off and clears the flags. Eric is right behind him and closing the distance quick on Wyatt. The breaststroke is a game changer when it comes to the IM. Philip is still behind in third, losing ground, however, still swimming strong. We have Eric passing Wyatt in the breaststroke. It will come down to the freestyle to see who's the winner of the heat. Strong push-offs, Wyatt right behind him. Wyatt closing the distance still. It will be close. It will be the pendant in the last 25. It looks like the first to the wall will be Wyatt. If Eric pushes hard, he can still keep up with them. With Wyatt pulling ahead, strongly swimming. First to make it to the flags, it looks like Wyatt is the heat winner, first place, with a time of 2 minutes, 13 seconds, 0.1. Eric is in second with 2:14.25. Philip is finishing up in third place at a time of 2 minutes, 34 seconds, 0.44. Next, we have Heat 2 of the men's 200-yard IM. In lane 1, we have Brady Ferguson from Iowa Central, Sean Sheets in lane 2 from Iowa Central, Eduardo Sarmiento in lane 3 from Iowa Lakes, Kyle McKenzie, lane 4 from Iowa Central,
Flash photography at the start. The swimmers are looking for
Pedro
girls to start their race.
Aragon in lane 5,
Next up,
from
we have
Iowa
Heat 2
Central,
of the men's 200
Ora
IM.
Montebella,
Lane
lane
1,
6, Iowa Central.
Indianapolis
Luke Johnson,
Fireman.
lane 7, Iowa
Brandon
Central.
Ferguson.
As the swimmers are introduced on the
In
intercom,
lane 2, it's Sean. Don't call me C. Sheets.
lots of cheering from the crowd and from the teams.
In lane 3, Eduardo Sarmiento.
Lots of cheering for
In
each
lane
individual
4,
swimmer as
don't look
they
how
go
short I am.
down.
Kyle McKenzie. In lane 5, Pedro Pablo Aragon. In lane 6, the loudest guy on the team, Ortile Macapella. And in lane
Lots of cheer
7,
for each
Luke,
individual swimmer
I
as
will
they're
shoot anything
announced.
that flies,
Good to hear
Johnson.
team spirit throughout this.
Yours, Mr. Slade.
As they step up, we begin heat 2 of the men's 200-yard IM. All swimmers having a good push off. Looks like Pedro is farthest out of the water. Looks like Pedro was first to the wall, but Kyle's still right with him. Pedro and Kyle are leading this heat off quick with the butterfly. Pedro and Kyle will be first to touch the walls and start off on the back. Each swimmer is still swimming strong, with Luke fighting for third place with Eduardo. Sean is keeping up with Eduardo as well. It's a fight between Aura and Brady as well, each fighting at their own pace. It looks like thanks to the back, Kyle was able to get ahead of Pedro. However, the difference will be the breaststroke, as that is the game changer for everyone. Kyle also specializes in breaststroke, so it'll be hard for anyone to catch up to him at this point. Kyle making a strong exit through his push-off, with Pedro still behind him and Eduardo behind Pedro. Luke in 4th, Sean in 5th, with Brady catching up to Sean. Kyle finishing with his last 25. He'll make a great improvement. Pedro second to the wall for the last 25. And Eduardo third to the wall. Kyle finishes first with a time of 1 minute, 57 seconds, 0.7. Pedro finishes second with a time of 2:05:15. Eduardo with a third with a time of 2:09:46. Brady with a fourth, 2:14. Luke Johnson, 5th with a 2:14. Sean Sheets, 6th with a 2:15. And Aura Mentabel with a 7th with a 2:17. Next will be the event 6, the men's 200-yard breaststroke.
Again, they got to pick their event, so Brady's just doing a little training day, I think. Next up, we have men's 200 breaststroke in lane 3. Possibly the best unknown breaststroker in the country, Brian Baumann.
For this event, we have
In lane
Ryan
4,
Bachman in lane 3,
We've got
Iowa Central.
Matthew
Crossman.
I think I can swim fly, but I'm going to start breaststroke faster than that.
Iowa Central.
Crossman.
Brady Ferguson once
And in lane
again.
5, Brady, Glutton for Punishment Ferguson.
Iowa Central.
Yours, Mr. Stone.
Matthew Crossman is one that specializes especially in breaststroke, so this will be an exciting match to watch. Brady, having just swam the 200-yard IM, he's surely putting himself in a tough spot. However, since they chose their events today, I'm sure he has good reason to. Each with their own strong dive. Matthew pulling ahead. Looks like Matthew will start out with the lead as Brady and Brian seem tied for second. Strong push-offs. Matthew crosses across the flags as well as the other two. Brian and Brady are neck and neck, but it looks like Brian might be pulling up ahead in second. Matthew is looking strong for his first 50 being cleared already with 30.58 seconds. The 30-second marker is an impressive time to reach for a breaststroker, since it is one of the slower strokes. Matthew still going strong in his stroke, clears the flags once again. The other two are neck and neck as well, both touching the wall at the same time, and both clearing the flags. Matthew will be clearing his 100 right now as he starts on his second 100. His split was a 34 seconds. Still impressive. It looks like we'll be seeing a gap difference starting with this second 100, with Brady pulling ahead in second and Brian falling behind in third. Still time and still distance to go before the end. Matthew going to be first to his 150-yard mark, finishing out his last 50. He got a split of 36.71. Still a good time considering the first 100. There is a definitive difference in distance as Brady touches the wall second. Brian is falling behind but still swimming strong. It'll be good to see them finish out strongly. Matthew on his last 25, halfway done, just about to touch the wall and finish out. Brady second to the wall to finish out his last 25. Matthew is first with a time of 2 minutes, 18 seconds.
That's Matthew's best time this season by 5
Best time
seconds.
by 5 seconds. An impressive time drop for people of the breaststroke swim. Brady touches the wall second with a time of 2 minutes, 36.15. Brian finishing third with a time of 2 minutes, 41 seconds, .5. Very good times for each, especially for Matthew dropping 5 seconds off his best time. Next up, we will be having event
Next up, we have the women's 50 freestyle.
Women's 50-yard freestyle.
Nancy Olsen.
Lane 3,
In lane
Nancy
4
Olsen,
from Iowa
Iowa
Central,
Central.
Moana Wynn.
Lane 4, Moana Wynn.
In lane 5, I can sprint, I can swim distance,
Sage
I
Knight.
just swim.
Lane
Sage
5,
Knight.
Iowa Central. Allison
And in lane
Grass,
6, Allison
Iowa
Grass.
Wings. Sage having swam the mile, this will be an interesting event to see her sprint, as it is quite physically demanding to swim the mile and then a short distance sprint. But we will see the outcome of her run. Strong dives, each to their own. We have Moana pulling ahead with her dive. However, Nancy and Sage are fighting neck and neck to try and take that spot. Thanks to the push-off, we've got Nancy ahead in second, with Moana still leading. Sage in third, Allison fourth, but still right behind Sage. Moana finishes first, Nancy behind her, Sage third, and Alyssa fourth. With each first, Moana, time 25.81. Nancy 2683, Sage 2756, and Allison 2853. Next, we'll have the men's 50-yard freestyle. First, we'll have Isaac Gruschaber
Next up, we have the
from
men's
Iowa Lakes,
50-yard freestyle.
Nicholas Leonard in lane 4,
One
Iowa
of
Lakes,
three.
Ethan
In
Rutherford,
lane 3 from Iowa
lane
Lakes,
5,
Isaac Schreiber.
Iowa Lakes. This will be in Iowa
In
Lakes.
lane 4 from Iowa Lakes, Nicholas Leonard.
This will be
And in lane 5 from Iowa Lakes, Ethan J. Rutherford. Yours, Mr. Starr.
for 50. It depends on the strong start off as well as being able to sprint the entire distance, which may not seem like much, but that push-off can be quite taxing. We have Nicholas starting out strong with his push the blocks, leading in first and first up to the wall. We've got Isaac right behind him and Ethan pulling up behind. If they each play their cards right, Nicholas will be first. Isaac and Ethan will be battling for second. It'll be close, and it looks like Isaac pulls through for second.
Lane 3.
Nicholas has a time of 25:03. Isaac Schroeder has a
time.
time of 27:15, and Ethan has a time of 27:18. Very close. Makes for a good watch.
Heat 2.
Now Heat 2. We've got Philip Canino again in lane 1, Iowa Lakes. Owen Gordon, lane 2, Iowa Central. Max Kicker, lane 3, Iowa Central. Dalton Hamill, lane 4, Iowa Central. Eric Graff, once again, lane 5, Iowa Lakes. Rise Cheer,
Iowa Central.
lane 6,
Max
Iowa
Kicker.
Lakes. Andreas
Lane 4 from
Santana,
Iowa Central,
lane 7,
Dalton
Iowa
Hamill.
Lakes.
In lane 5 from Iowa Lakes, Eric Graff.
This will be a
Lane
good
6 from Iowa
race.
Lakes, Reese
Lots
Cheer.
of equal
And
competitors.
lane 7 from Iowa Lakes, Andres Santana. Mr. Starr.
Number 2, men's 50-yard freestyle. Please take your mark.
As the push off the block starts, we will see definitively who has the best push. And it looks like Dalton is the one who had the farthest pull out of the swimmers. He made it to the wall first and pushed off the farthest. It looks like Dalton and Rise are the ones competing for first. Dalton manages to pull first with a time of 23:54. Max is second with a time of 23:68. Eric is third with a time of 24:22. Rise is right behind him with fourth of 24:31. Fifth is 24:91 from Owen. And Philip is sixth with a time of 26:66. Andreas's wall did not activate, so we do not know his time. He swam fast, so it's good to assume he's still within the 20-something mark. Next is Heat 3 with Ora Montabella in lane 1 from Iowa Central. Gavin Hall, Iowa Central, lane 2. Sam Brennan, Iowa Central, lane 3. Eduardo Martiniano, lane 4, Iowa Lakes. Nicola Trajanowski, lane 5, Iowa Central. Quentin Talia, lane 6, Iowa Central. Brendan Chad, lane 7, Iowa Central.
Next up, we
Eduardo
have three of the
Sarmiento,
men's 50s freestyle.
lane
In lane
8,
1, Ora
Iowa
Montabella.
Lakes.
In lane 2, Gavin Hall. In lane 3, Sam Brennan. In lane 4, Eduardo Martiniano.
It's good to see the crowd enthusiastic as
Nicholas
they cheer
Radnowski.
each individual swimmer
In lane
once again.
6, Quentin Tayale.
May not
Lane
mention it
7,
all the time,
Brendan
however,
Chad.
the cheers
In lane 8, from Iowa Lakes, Eduardo Sarmiento.
as strong for each team.
Number 3, they have 50 yards for a stop. Please take your mark.
The jumps off the blocker looking good. We've got, ooh, it's close with 4, 5. Oh, they're all right next to each other, which makes it difficult to give any clear motion. However, lane 4 looks like they pull ahead. That is Eduardo with lane 5 right next to him. So close. Eduardo takes first with 21:25. Nicola with a time of 21:48. Oh, looks like we have a tie for second between Sam and Nicola with both a 21:48. Fourth is Quentin with 22:37. Fifth is 22:45 from Gavin. Sixth place goes to Brendan Chad with a time of...
Next up, we have the women's 100-yard backstroke. In lane 2 from Illinois, Nancy Olson.
Eduardo.
In lane 3 from Indiana, Danny Lawrence. In lane 4
Now we're on to
from
the women's 100
Brazil,
backstroke.
Maria Goncalves.
This will be a good race as well because we have Nancy Olson in lane 2, Iowa Central. Penny Lawrence, lane 3, Iowa Central. Maria Goncalves, lane 4, Iowa Central.
From Mexico,
Emily Small,
Andrea
lane 5, Iowa Central. Andrea Gallardo Perez, lane 6, Iowa Central. Backstroke itself can be an interesting race, simply because it's a backwards freestyle. Maria has made lots of time drops and records on the team. And she pulls out farthest ahead on her pull. The backstroke can be dangerous for those who are capable of going all the way on the start, because at the 15-yard marker, if you continue underwater, you get disqualified. Maria making a strong stance for first place. We have Andrea in second, fighting with Emily in order to get second place. Penny Lawrence in third, swimming strong right behind Emily and Andrea. We have Nancy right behind Penny, but they continue strongly fit on the last lap of the 100 back. It looks like Andrea is getting a finite distance between her and Emily, so it looks like she'll pull through on second. Maria finishes first with a time of 1 minute 23. 1 minute point 23. We have Andrea with a time of 104.75. Emily right behind her with a time of 104.92. Penny with a time of 108.54. And Nancy with a time of 110.17. This was a good
Next
race.
event is the men's 100-yard backstroke. In lane 4, Matthew.
We have Matthew
Crossman.
Crossman swimming the 100-yard backstroke by himself. He will be in lane 4. This will be a good race to watch for Matthew. He usually swims breaststroke-related events, so to see him in the backstroke is a good change of pace. Little talk with Matthew before the race starts about his nose being over the edge. However, that won't be an issue for Matthew as he starts out strong with a almost midpoint push-off. Reaches the first wall no problem, looking long and strong. Good push off the wall, making it past the flags for the second 25. Finishing his first 50. His split time is 29.92. Now, That time also includes him having to flip turn, which is quite impressive in itself as well. As a swimmer, I can barely swim this event as is. On his last 25, he's going strong. Halfway down the pool, he's continuing going strong. At the flags, reaching out with a time. Finishing first in his heat
We will now
in
have a
event.
15-minute break.
We have Matthew finishing with a time of 1:02:03. As we are cutting to an interval, we will get back to you at the start of the women's 200 free.
The main pool is open for warm-up right now.
Strong.
Please clear the pool. Yeah, a little bit. Next up, we have the women's 200-yard freestyle. In lane 4, Leticia Diaz. And in lane 5, from Omaha, Nebraska, Haley Snowert.
And we're back with the women's 200-yard freestyle. We've got Leticia Diaz in lane 4 from Iowa Central, and we've got Haley Snowert, lane 5, also from Iowa Central. Both starting off. Looks like Letitia takes the lead off the dive. However, Haley is still right behind her, so it's anyone's swim still. Both have a strong push off the wall. Haley's still right behind Letitia, but not losing her. She's managed to pull up each little bit on the swim. Letitia still manages to get distance each time off the wall, but Haley still is not giving up. They still have 125 left. Little by little, Letitia is managing to pull ahead off the wall each time. However, Haley still is in the fight. She gains a little distance each time during the swimming portion of it. Haley is not giving up. Still 75 left to go. Each are swimming strongly and still have distance to get. If Letitia continues at this pace, she will be able to make a sub 20. Haley right behind, still in second, but still fighting for her own times. If Letitia pushes hard on this last one and finishes strong, she can make a sub 20 time. Haley finishing her last 25 as well. Letitia at the flags, finishing with not a sub 2 minutes, but still a great time of 2 minutes and 1 second, 0.06. Haley finishing second with a time of 2 minutes, 8 seconds, 32. To make it still a sub 10, 210 is still an impressive time for anyone sprinting a 200. Next, we have the men's 200-yard freestyle. In lane 3 will be Sean Sheets from Iowa Central, Brendan Shand, lane 4 from Iowa Central, and Brian Bachman in lane 5, Iowa Central.
Next up, we have the men's 200-yard freestyle.
Each one can swim a 200 quite impressively because
In lane 3,
Brendan
Sean Sheets.
is a mile swimmer as well.
In lane 4,
Brian
we
is
have
a 500
200
distance swimmer.
Brendan Chad.
And Sean is a
And
very
in lane
good
5, Brian A. Baumach.
This is a good race between these three, being evenly balanced, but Brendan and Brian having an advantage. Each have a good push off the block and beautifully enter the water. Brendan pulls ahead off the dive as well. First to the wall, Brian second, Sean right behind Brian. Brian and Sean are managing to stay head to head, but Brian has a slight advantage. Brendan still keeping ahead, finishes his first 50, gaining more ground as he pushes off the wall and swims. Brian making more of a headway against Sean, but Sean not willing to lose that ground and pushes on. They'll be finishing halfway with Brendan in the lead, Brian second, Sean fighting to keep it with them. Each are barely making it to the flag, but still going strong. Brendan still taking the head of the event. With a 50 left for each of them, it'll come down to that to see who will be second and third. Brendan going strong for his last 50. You can see he's putting in even more effort to finish strong. And And that's what it's about in the 200. Sprinting the final stretch regardless of how tired you are. Brian making a considerable distance against Sean, but they're still right next to each other, so it's anyone's game. Brendan finishing first with a time of 1:51.53. Quite an impressive time. Brian finishing second, Sean finishing third. Brian has a time of 2:02.24, Sean has a time of 2:02.35. It's always those hundredths of a second that make the difference. Next, we will be having the women's 50-yard breaststroke.
50-yard
Penny
breaststroke.
Lawrence in lane 3,
In lane 3.
Iowa Central. Iowa Lakes, Moana
Penny
in
Lawrence.
lane 4. Iowa Lakes, Allison
In
Garth,
lane
lane
4.
5.
From Iowa Lakes.
Iowa Central, Lily
Moana
White,
wins.
lane 6.
Lane 5.
Penny may not be a
From Iowa
breaststroker,
Lakes.
but she'll
Allison
still
Garth.
put good effort into swimming strong,
Lane 6. From
Looks
Iowa Central.
as well
Lily
as a
Rice.
strong breaststroker, so she should be able to take a good lead off of the dive. Moana and Allison are right next to each other.
Women's 50-yard breaststroke. Take your mark.
Good dive off, still in good underwaters. Looks like Moana was able to pull off ahead. Lily is right behind us, fighting to make that ground. Both touch the wall at the same time. This pull out might be what calls it. Lily right behind, but still fighting through. She should be able to pull ahead and take first. First to the flags is Lily, and it looks like with a strong finish, Lily is first with a time of 30 seconds flat. Moana's time did not activate, so she is second, but it does not register. Penny gets third
Lily
with
just
a
missed our
time
school record by
of 37.8.
0.01.
Allison fourth with a time of 38.7, and Lily just broke a school record. Congratulations.
Boys in lane 4, do we have a time written down?
Next, we're moving on to
Okay, gotta be watched.
event 14 of the men's 50-yard breaststroke, heat 1 of 2. First up, we've got Ethan Runenberg in lane 3 from Iowa Lakes. This looks like it's going to be an all Iowa Lakes event. Yep, that's exactly what it is. 3 from Iowa Lakes, Ethan Runenberg in lane 3, Nicholas Leonard in lane 4, Eric P. Gariff in lane 5. There may not be an Iowa Central swimmer, but each will be cheered for individually by everyone.
Next up, we have the men's 50-yard breaststroke. Heat 1 of 2, lane 3 from Iowa Lakes, Ethan Runenberg. Am I saying that right? In lane 4, Nicholas Leonard. And in lane 5, Eric P. Graff.
As they step up onto the blocks, they get into position to jump.
50-yard breaststroke. Take your mark.
Good dives, good underwaters, being able to make it close to the halfway point for some of them. It looks like it'll be a definitive 5-4-3 for first, second, third. Each are fighting individually for personal times as well. Of course, that's what all swimmers do, so it's a good thing to cheer yourself up. We've got Eric finishing first with a time of 29:35, an impressive time indeed. We've got Nicholas finishing second with a 33:84, and Ethan finishing third with a 36:30. We'll be going to break quick, so we'll catch you soon.
Next up, we have E2, the men's 50 breaststroke. In lane 1, Reese Cheer. In lane 2, Pedro Aragon. In lane 3, Eduardo Sarmiento. In lane 4, don't call me the other Eduardo, Martiniano. In lane 5, Andre Santana. In lane 6, Matt Crossman. And lane 7, good, Fernando.
2 of the men's 50-yard breaststroke. In lane 1, we've got Rise Cheer from Iowa Lakes, Pedro Aragon in lane 2 from Iowa Central, Iowa Lakes Eduardo Sarmiento in lane 3, Iowa Lakes Eduardo Martino in lane 4, Andreas Santana in lane 5, Iowa Lakes, Matthew Crossman, lane 6, Iowa Central, Philip Cumino, lane 7, Iowa Lakes. We've got a strong swim in the middle of the middle lanes, each one leading in their own individual phase. We've got Matthew Crossman fighting for second with lanes 5 of fighting Andreas. We have Eduardo Martino in first with a 27.78. We have Andreas second with a 28.25. Matthew Crossman third with a 28.53. We have Eduardo Santario fourth of 29.08. Pedro Aragon, 30.59, fifth. We have Ray's Cheer, 6th, 30.68. And Philip Quinino, 7th, of a time of 34.03. Impressive times to be under and close to the 30-second mark.
Next up, we have the men's 200 butterfly, and apparently there is a gentleman's bet. Oh, and who wins this race?
Sounds like we've got
In lane 1
for this one
from Iowa Central.
This will be a good race to watch.
So lane 1, Sam Brennan.
200-yard butterfly.
Lane 2, Quentin Teali. Lane 3, Kyle McKenzie.
Coach
Lane 4, Dalton Hamill.
do so in just a
Lane
second.
5, Wyatt Cook. Lane 6, Nicholas Trajanovsky. And in lane 7, Brady Cyclone Ferguson.
All right, we've got Sam Brennan, lane 1. This is an all Iowa Central heat and event. Quentin Talia in lane 2. Kyle McKenzie in lane 3. Dalton Hamill in lane 4. Wyatt Cook in lane 5. Nikola Chervinsky, lane 6. Brady Ferguson, lane 7. There's a bet going on who wins this race. I do not know what the bets are. However, I'm sure that each will fight on their own in order to win this bet. Competition between events is good, and it looks like there's good reason for it today. We have Nicola as well as Quentin and Sam leading. We've got Sam leading in first, Kyle second, and Nicola in third. However, each are touching the wall at their own pace and making good times. So it's anyone's race at this point, since we're only starting with, since this was the first half of the 200. We have Quentin in fourth. What looks like Dalton passing Quentin for fourth. It's still a strong lead from Kyle in first, Sam second, Nicola third. However, it does look like Dalton is keeping up and catching up to Nicola, so it'll be a good race for this last 50 as it comes up. We have Brady last, but still keeping in there and staying strong, keeping his stroke firm. We have Kyle leading the way by a huge margin and finishing his last 25. Nicola and Sam look like they are close to neck and neck. However, it also looks like Dalton is passing Nicola in this last 50 in order to make a comeback for second place. Looks like it'll be down to Sam and Nicola for third. Sam, all right. We've got Kyle taking first with a time of 1:56.39. Dalton with second, taking it with a time of 2:02:44. Sam with the time of 2:03:69. Nicola with a time of 2:04:54.
That was Kyle's lifetime
Wyatt
best
Cook
by 2
with a time of
seconds.
2:09:80.
And that is now our 7th fastest time of all
And
time.
Quinton's time did not trigger. And Brady Ferguson with 6 with a time of 2:15:58. Impressive for each swimmer. I wonder who won the bet. Next, we're going to have the women's 100-yard IM. These will be the last two events of the day, the women's 100 IM and the men's 100 IM. After this, we will cut transmission and see you tomorrow. For the women's 100-yard IM, we have 2 heats. First heat being Sage Knight in lane 3, Penny Lawrence lane 4, and Haley Snewart in lane 5. All from Iowa Central. We will take a short break until the start of the event.
Next up, we have the women's 100 individual medley. We have 2 heats. In heat 1, lane 3, Sage Lorenzo Knight. In lane 4, we have Penny Lawrence. And in lane 5, we have Haley Eduardo Snowert.
We have Coach announcing the names of the swimmers.
Number 1, women, 100 yards, individual medley. Take your mark.
Off they go, off the blocks. Each enter the water strongly, smoothly, sharply. Penny takes the lead, starting off with the fly. Sage being neck and neck with her. Penny making a good first to the wall, making a good pull out underwater, keeping ahead of both of them. Sage and Haley are right behind Penny, but neck and neck, all the same. It's a good competition right here. This is a very close race that will be defined by this last 50 of the breaststroke and free. Penny is making headway with the breaststroke. This will be a good way for her. This gives her a good chance of winning the heat. Penny is first to the wall thanks to the breaststroke and pushes off strongly. Makes it past the flags. So do the other 2. This is the last 25 fight. It'll be between. It's anyone's game still for second and third. Penny finishing first. Sage second, and Haley third. Penny has a time of 1:10:52. Sage a time of 1:11:21, and Haley third with 1:11:69. Each of these are personal best for each of them. It's always down to the hundredths of the second to decide the winners. That's when you know it's a good race. Next is the Heat 2 of the women's 100-yard IM. We have Leticia Diaz from Iowa Central, Maria Goncalves, third, Iowa Central, Moana Green, Iowa Lakes, lane 4, Lily Wright, lane 5, Iowa Central, Nancy Olson, 6, Iowa Central, Emily Small, 7, Iowa Central. Nancy accidentally fell off the block after the announcer said stand up. However, there will be no penalty for foul. It seems that she was disqualified for a false start. It's a shame to see it. It's a major disappointment also to be disqualified into falling off. However, we do have a strong race going on. A tight space for lane 3 and lane 5 between Maria and Lily. This breaststroke will be what determines it due to each's capability of swimming. Lily making huge headway, but we've also got Moana right behind her thanks to it. However, thanks to the breaststroke, Lily manages to take the lead with Moana following right behind her. Maria is fighting for third with Letitia. Lily has achieved first place, following with Moana. Lily's time is 101.54. Moana's time 101.92. Letitia taken third for 104.46. Maria 104th with a 104.48. And Emily Small taking fifth with a 108.82. It was a good race between them. Each put forth good effort. We will take a small break until the start of the next event.
Our last event of the night, for day 1 of the Midwest Cup, we have the men's 100 IM, heat 1 of 2. In lane 3, Nicholas Leonard. In lane 4, Ethan Runneberg. In lane 5, Owen Lorenzo Gordon.
And we're back for the final event of the night. We have Nicholas Leonard, Iowa Lakes, in lane 3. Ethan Runneberg, lane 4, Iowa Lakes. Owen Gordon, lane 5, Iowa Central. All of them had a good entry into the pool. Owen taking the lead to the underwater. His fly is looking strong, which gets him first to the wall. Following behind is Nicholas and Ethan fighting for second. Owen is making a good distance, fighting for first place and keeping ahead. He has a good underwater, clearing the flags, as well as the other two. Each are still in this race, but it looks like Owen is pulling ahead thanks to the breaststroke. Nicholas is making a good headway ahead of Ethan in order to take second, but they're still neck and neck, so it's all down to the freestyle. Owen is halfway done with the freestyle 25, so it looks like he's safely in first place. It's between Nicholas and Ethan for second. Each are right neck and neck, and it looks like Nicholas takes second. Owen has a time of 102.42. Nicholas a time of 107.35. And Ethan a time of 107.43. Next will be the last heat of the night. of the men's 100-yard IM. In lane 2, we'll have Brendan Chad from Iowa Central, Luke Johnson, lane 3, Iowa Central, Eduardo
Last
Martino,
event of the evening, our
lane
last
4,
heat, our
Iowa
last
Lakes,
race.
Matthew Crossman, lane 5,
Men's
Iowa
100
Central,
IM.
Gavin Hall,
In lane
lane
2,
7,
Brendan
Iowa
Chad.
Central, and Max Kicker,
In lane 3,
lane
Luke Johnson.
7, Max Kicker, Iowa Central, Gavin Hall is in lane
Eduardo
6.
Martiniano. In lane 5, Matthew Crossman. In lane 6, Gavin Hall.
This will be another
Lane
good
7,
race.
the South Dakota Destroyer, Max Kicker.
Number 2, men's 100-yard individual medley. Taking your mark.
Good start for everyone. Thanks to the fly, it's hard to tell who exactly is taking first. There are ties across the wall for whoever got to the wall first. However, it does look like Eduardo is taking first thanks to the push-off and the back. Leading strongly into the wall, Eduardo is still in first thanks to his underwaters and strong form. We have Luke right behind him fighting to keep up. We have Gavin and Matthew neck and neck for third. Each one of them is putting a strong effort. Gavin pulling ahead of Matthew for third. Luke still behind Eduardo, but each swimming strong, managing to get sub 1. We have Eduardo first with a time of 53.86. Luke Johnson 56.37 second. Third is Matthew Crossman 57.70. Gavin Hall fourth 57.79. Max Kicker fifth with a time of 1
Special,
1
huge,
minute,
gigantic thank you to the Iowa Central men's
Brendan
rugby
Chad
team.
101
Please give them a big hand.
30.42. Thank you for joining us on
We
this
have
broadcast,
hosted,
and we'll
this
see you
is our
tomorrow
third
for
hosted meet.
the next
This is the
one.
third meet where the rugby men have stepped up and volunteered their time, and I am very grateful. Thank you, boys. Events start at 11 a.m. tomorrow morning. It was at 10. Great evening. Safe.